Welcome to a demonstration really explaining a bit about PICkit Plus, not GC Basic, but it's an insight. So I've been asked to help somebody. So I've produced this video because it's not something that I've shared before, so it's worthwhile me sharing it. So this is about PICkit Plus and an insight on how to change the configuration. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to open up a new dialog, this specific dialog in the bottom left there called test memory within the PICkit Plus application suite. I'm going to be using a PICkit 2. You can use a PICkit 4. You can't do what I'm going to show you now in MPLab IPE. You can only do it in PICkit Plus, and I'm going to show you how to do it in here. So what we're going to do is actually, if we look at this here on the left hand, in the bottom there, if I zoom in, we can have a quick look at it. What we're going to see is how we can look at the user ID, the actual config, and other calibration words to really understand how this chip works. And it's quite important that sometimes you might need this, sometimes you don't. But the majority of times you don't need it, okay, to be quite frank. But we're going to look at how this information is then displayed. If we actually just see if I can zoom out a bit more. I want to go back to this screen here. Some of this information is actually already shown, but some of it is not. I will show you. So the calibration or the user ID on this particular chip, it's a 12F683. That's where the problem lies, by the way. Not the problem. The guys who are asking is how do I display one particular register? But let's have a look. This way, these blue registers here are the same registers that are here in the user interface already. So they're already there. This red one, which is the configuration, 3FD7, is already is the default. If I read that in, if I had read that in, that's the value that's actually on the chip, and the actual configuration with its, what's the word I'm looking for, with its mask, it's actually, it's not as long as you would think. You have to look at the masks and etc. But this other one, 280, is another byte that is shown as the calibration word, and therefore you can sort of look at that as well. And that it is not displayed anywhere. So there are other bytes and registers in there that you can play with. So let's have a look where this is documented. This is documented in the PICkit 2 source guide, PC version 2, and it carries on, .pdf. And it demonstrates how in section 7.1, how you can actually enable that screen. Tmen is the crucial one. This one is the crucial one. Without this, nothing else works. It doesn't work if you don't make that. If you don't have that entry, it will not display that menu. So what we're going to do is walk through what all that does. So there is an ini file that the PC application for Windows uses this ini file. It's read in at startup and saved when the application is closed. If one doesn't exist, then the parameters will all be set to their defaults, and it will not show that extra dialog. You can delete that ini file, and sometimes in support calls we do just say just delete it, because people make changes and they mess it up, and it will just go back to its defaults. The parameters in that ini file do allow you to remember some of the characteristics of the application, so you can configure it somewhat. You can put comments in there. They will be lost, but the comments are made in semicolons, and I will show you that as we go through. So the basic function is a text-based file starting with a semicolon, has a header, and then you have a 4-character code. Example would be ADET : yes. Whatever ADET is, I don't remember. It means set it to yes. And you can set up general groups. There are general groups set up, but the header will show you when that file was saved, but also the version of the application. So this is saved a short while ago, nice and early in the morning, using version 7.661.180. So how do you actually edit this thing? So you're going to edit this file and then you can save it. Remember, if you mess it up, just delete it. So you might have a use case where you want to disable auto connect or the set of VDD, or you want to show tmem, which is what we're going to do, test memory. So rules: you must shut the application. You must shut the application. I'm going to say that 3 times. Shut the application, close it. Navigate to a particular location on your hard drive in your folder structure. Open the ini file, modify the parameters, and then save and start. And so just a couple of tips. Just back it up if you're concerned, and just use the defaults for troubleshooting. So I'm just going to take a copy of this address here. Oh no, I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay. So let's go through it. I wanted a copy of this location. Oh, let me have a look. So we're going to edit the ini file in that location and show the results. Okay. Let me just come out of PowerPoint. There we go. I'm out of PowerPoint. I only wanted this file location. That's why I came out of PowerPoint. Okay, let's go. Explorer. However you start Explorer, I don't care. And then type in a copy of that location in and put that in the address bar. %user profile %\app data /local /PICKitPlus. And there is the ini file. It's sitting there. There are 2 of them, one for PICkit 2, one for PICkit 3. They're the same, but I'm going to use a PICkit 2. So let me just start up PICkit 2. Oh, that's where the file, you didn't see it pop up. That's where it's popped up there, look. And let me just zoom in. Those are the 2 files in that location. And it's actually, it took the location. If I just come back into here again, if I paste that in, user profile, app data, local, PICkitPlus, hit enter, it will take me to the folder. But it actually expands that and puts your username in. So I don't know what your username is, so use that syntax. And here is the file, PICkitPlus, that we're going to be playing with. Okay, let's zoom out into full screen. We're going to start up PICkitPlus. PICkitPlus is there, and it will start it up and show me that it's connected to a, let's have a look. We'll look at that by moving that screen across. It's connected to a 12F 683, and this dialog menu is not there, because if I zoom out again, if I press Control T, it's not there, and Control T would reveal the window. I select the application, Control T does nothing, exit. I've exited out. Let's edit this file. I click on it, it takes me into an editor. This happens to be GC code, so what, doesn't matter. Let's screen zoom and then move that about so you can see it safely. This is the actual file. If I zoom in, and here is the header at the top, shows you the version here, and these are all the parameters. And it doesn't matter where you're going to put this thing. Watch, I'm just going to put it at the top so you can see it. Let me zoom in so you can see it quite clearly. TMEN : put a no, put N to start with. TMEN : that's the format, N. Save the file. I have saved the file. Restart PICkitPlus. Notice it has found the chip, but there doesn't seem to be any difference in the dialog. So what I'm going to do is shuffle the screen so that you can see what happens. I'm in the application. Control T. I get something called test memory. I can close it. Control T. I can close it. Now, if you set tmen equal : yes, that's a Y, it would automatically open it for you. Control T. I'm now going to read the chip. It will populate the tmem, and here is the parameters. It has completed the task. There are many different parameters in there inside of the ini file. Have a look through, but don't break it, because you can always default back to the defaults by deleting the ini file and starting again. If you now look in the dialog, there's actually a new entry in the tools entry called testmem. So if I close that, and you forget what, sorry about that, if you close testmem, you forget where it is, or you forget what the hotkey is, you can always go tools, test memory, and there it is. It brings it up and shows you. Now, you have to obviously read the chip to display the contents. It's not automatically updated. You have to read the chip. Okay, that's it. Job done. Let's call that a wrap. Let me just complete my PowerPoint. That's where we were. Edit that file. Let me just sort my screen out. Enjoy.